Hi, I'm Holly Ann from Safe for Kids, and I'd like to introduce you to a new friend of mine. Her name's Kimberley, and she wrote this fantastic book, I Have a Little Secret. I ran into Kimberley on Instagram, of all places. I follow a hashtag, and she used it through her journey of writing this beautiful book. And so I was watching her going through all of the pains of self-publishing, and I really enjoyed her journey. And so I'd like to introduce you to Kimberley, and let's find out about how she got into this. Welcome, Kimberley.
Hi, Holly. Thanks for having me.
Like I said, how did you what made you write this beautiful book?
Yeah, Holly, so I work in the early childhood industry and working closely with children and their families. We are unfortunately exposed to different situations and children who are victims of family violence and sexual abuse. As you know, it's quite common. And some of the stories and some of the children and their families that I was working with had really pulled on my heartstrings and had a significant emotional toll on me as a person. And I couldn't sit back and do nothing. And I felt inspired and empowered to create a resource out of something so negative so that I could use it in a positive way to help prevent this from happening to any other child. So I wanted to create a resource that parents and educators could use. And also for me as a young mum, I wanted to create a resource that I could use with my own child to have those uncomfortable conversations.
And you've done it so beautifully. I love the illustrations. Your words are beautiful, but the lovely illustrations are, because it's a difficult subject, they're so soft and gentle that you could read this to very young children without frightening them, and they'll really enjoy the pictures. So how did you find your illustrator?
Yeah, so Holly, the illustrator is Rachel Gregg, and she is an amazing Australian illustrator. And I found her on a random Google search one day when I was scrolling through looking for illustrators. And I fell in love with her work. So the watercolors and her artworks are just so soft and beautiful. And I just knew from that moment that I needed to have her work with me on this special project, because as you said, it is an uncomfortable topic to talk about and it is very heavy. And so I thought that her beautiful soft illustrations would just complement it nicely.
Yeah, they really are beautiful.
Yeah.
So when have you had this conversation with your child up until you wrote the book?
So, Holly, no, I hadn't. And it wasn't until I started working in the childhood industry that I realised that, this is an important topic that I need to approach her about, because it is one that I hadn't discussed with her out of fear, and I didn't have the confidence or the necessary educational resources to have that kind of conversation with her. And I thought, being an educator and a parent, like, if I create a resource that I can use, then there's probably lots of other parents out there that, just like myself, don't know where to start. And so, I wanted to create that resource that just helps make this process a little bit easier, a little bit more comfortable.
And you're exactly right. Parents don't know where to start, and parents think it will never happen to their child. When I'm doing parent and teacher training, in our training, I say that, up to 1/3 of Australia's children will suffer some form of sexual abuse before their 18th birthday, and nobody wants to think of it happening to their child. But the statistics tell us that it may, and that's the whole spectrum. So that's from, somebody showing a child pornography, whether it's another child or, somebody flashing a child at a bus stop, right to the most heinous acts. No parent wants to think of it ever happening, but we need to have those conversations, and your book will help parents do it so easily. And what I also love about your book is how you've given information for both educators and parents on some of the strategies. So what are some of the other strategies that you as a parent would recommend other parents do?
Yeah, absolutely. So teaching children about their bodies. So teaching children about their anatomical body parts, and not giving them a funny name. So we all have them, and it's okay to talk and label them as being a penis or a vagina. So children do need to be aware of their body. The other thing that we need to educate, Holly, around this protective education is body ownership. So children are the boss of their own body, and we need to respect that as adults. So we shouldn't be forcing children to cuddle or kiss adults goodbye. So, a family member that they may not have seen or felt comfortable with, we shouldn't be forcing them into having physical affection if they don't feel comfortable. So they really should understand that, what a child says goes.
And, consent is such an important strategy. I know there's been lots of controversy. There was a video going around where somebody said that, you should ask to change a child, or kids shouldn't be made to kiss grandma and things like that. But if adults are modelling it for children, like I would never pick up a child without saying, can I pick you up? If a child puts out their hands, I would pick them up. If a child goes like that, I wouldn't pick them up.
Absolutely.
So we can model that, because funnily enough, when I'm working with teenage young boys in high school, they admit to me of watching 2 hours a week of pornography. And when I'd say, boys, why would you do that? Oh, to learn technique, miss, to learn style. Not the right technique, and there's no style, but there's also no consent. And and you working in the early years, modelling that, and if you have to change a child, you can say either this staff member will do it or this staff member will do it, but we need to change you to keep you safe. Even little kids can do that. So, and kissing adults goodbye, sometimes adults think, oh, I don't want to offend the adult, but meanwhile, we're just empowering our children. So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
Now, if people wanted to buy your beautiful book, how would they go about it?
Yeah, Holly, so I do have a website, www.kimberleymcEwan.com. The book is also available on Amazon, UK, USA and Europe as well.
Fantastic. So in the notes, I will put links to your Facebook page, your Instagram account. We also sell your book, so I'll put the link to our shop as well. But thank you so much for creating this beautiful book, because it really is. We're thrilled to be able to use it in our new lesson plans. And yeah, taking, it is a big gamble to self-publish, and I just thank you for doing that. So we'll keep talking, but thank you for that. And is there anything you'd like to tell parents before we go?
Don't be afraid to have the conversation. We need to start these conversations early if we have any chance of preventing and protecting our children from becoming victims of sexual harm. So start them young. Don't be afraid. And books like I Have a Little Secret and the books that Holly has produced as well are a really, really great place to start.
Thank you so much, and see ya.
See ya. Thanks, Holly.
Bye.